The Bank of Industry collaborates with local and international development finance institutions and commercial banks to provide funding for key capital projects in Nigeria. This is done through strategic partnerships with state governments. The groundwork for one of such partnerships is happening right here at the Abuja office of the Bank of Industry as the governor of Ebonyi State approaches the bank for support. The MD, Bank of Industry, Olukayode Quinton, ushers in the governor. In welcoming Governor Dave Umahi, the MD begins by sharing part of his plans to secure more offshore funds to support local industries, a move Ebonyi State stands to benefit from.
We are working very hard to ensure that we have a large pool of funds. Part of my plans, working with the team here, is that we're going to try and raise a fund of between 500 billion to 1 trillion naira in the next 2 years to ensure that we support not only the micro and the small scale enterprises, but also the large corporations.
The governor calls for a review of the existing relationship between the Bank of Industry and Ebonyi State, asking for a more urgent and tailor-made intervention.
I can, to God's glory, say that we pride ourselves as a state that has the largest deposit of solid mineral, but unfortunately very highly and criminally neglected, right from birth until we're born again. Our mission here, sir, is to ask, can we be evaluated in the comprehensive term, and see what and what that can be done for Ebonyi State. So much is being ignored and wasted, and we are willing and ready to partner with you, but not 6 months to get a business on its feet. Fortunately for me, I'm a very impatient person. When it comes to development, I like things that are good to be quickly done. So that's why we are here. There's no need of saying we have this cooperative in solid mineral. We have 4,000 youth and women that we are giving 250,000 to start small business, but that is free of charge. And so what if a Bank of Industry comes to expand the business with small loan that is guaranteed by the state government? We can mention that just May 29, we empowered 1,710 widows with 100,000 naira each to start small scale business. What if Bank of Industry comes in to expand that business? Needless to talk about, small efforts that are being made in the agricultural sector. And of late, we were thinking about each local government to have 5,000 hectares of land just for rice production to be developed, another 5,000 for, you call it poultry, city, just for poultry and fish farming. And we're also getting cooperatives to do large-scale cassava and maize programs. Already we've imported, not imported this time, we patronize a manufacturing company, cassava. So we have in our state 3 machines that are making flours, cassava flours, and then 1 that is to produce starch. And then we imported 4 rice mill, 3 rice mill plants. Already we have 4 in the state, the gigantic rice mill in this. But in all this, we want to ensure that government, that is a very poor manager of businesses, their hands are off the wheels. And how do we want to do this? We want the off-takers, of these businesses, and they need to pay 10% down payment. They don't have it. Can the Bank of Industry be their savior? My MD and your team, again, I want to thank you. there is a frog in our dialect. They say that water has filled the mouth of the frog, so the frog cannot really talk. So these are plight. And I believe, God, sir, that as your smiles, synchronize with your, beautiful personality, that you will extend it to us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We have to step in fast. We have to step in big. I want to assure you, Excellency, we are working very hard on that. We are engaging government, because even for us, even though Bank of Industry has a AAA rating nationally, we could actually access the market to raise money. But if we are to access the market now to raise money, we'll be paying close to the same rate that the corporates and government is borrowing money. We're talking of anywhere between 15 and 18%. If we are getting money at 18%, by the time we lend the money to those we are giving the money to, definitely they'll be getting the money from us close to the same rates that they are already getting from commercial banks. And we are lending at single digits. We try not to exceed 10%. So it means those monies are not the type of monies that we can take. So we are putting heads together with government to see how we can raise between 500 billion to 1 trillion next 2 to 3 years to actually support industry, and such that they are able to borrow at rates not exceeding 10% per annum. You spoke about the long gestation period between the time you apply for facilities and the time that they are approved and disbursed by us. We will look inwards. It's a feedback. I want to assure you that, based on even what government is trying to do, the ease of doing business, we are going to ensure that we cut that time down, drastically. Because if companies are about to die, it's not after they are dead that you receive them. So I want to assure you that your application and the things we are discussing will not take 6 months.
The governor and the MD spoke to journalists after the meeting.
1 billion is our own hard-earned money, and we had set aside this 1 billion for the empowerment of our people. And we also have a number of our people that are in Lagos, in major cities, doing hawking. And so we are using these funds to exit them from the major cities so that they come back to the state and be able to do something. Already about, about 1,000 of them, have benefited. So we still have about 3,000. So instead of just giving them this 250,000 as grant, we may increase it to 500,000, so that 250,000 is a component of loan, from the contribution of Bank of Industry, and then the other 250 will be a kind of grant. But the good thing is that they are, normally trained, before they are deployed. So we're looking at empowerment, and when you talk about empowerment, some will go into poultry, some will go into rice production, cassava production, maize production, some will go into small manufacturing, and then we have a lot of salt, so we are excising, our brain to see the byproduct of salt, extraction, quote unquote, like the soda, you can use it to do soda water, and of course use it for water treatment. So these are all that we want to, deploy the money to, and of course it's not enough. But as we, get started, we will be able to channel, more for, because we've done quite a lot of, infrastructure. So our attention is now geared towards, now raising the people.
First of all, we have to change the orientation of the average Nigerian, that intervention funds are not their own part of national cake. Because the idea is that if the state is bringing the money, this is what the state wants to give to me. The state wants to empower you. It's not to take money and not pay back. Because the more they are able to pay back, the more the governor and the government will be encouraged to do more. So the mentality of the average Nigerian that takes money for those kind of projects has to be changed. Then we need to also let even the type of training and the curriculum we have in universities, some has to be amended. We need to begin to teach entrepreneurial classes. You don't have to work for a formal organization to be employed. You can work for yourselves. So we have to tackle it in a lot of areas. Of course, churches, mosques, and families must help. The moral teachings, that we give to our people, it's also very important because it's a package. We have to look at it holistically. We can't do everything in 1 year, but let us start.